Alright guys, we're going to do a quick little boil. We've got us some shrimp here. We need to peel those, devein them. The other day I used a rotisserie chicken. We made some chicken stock. We've got some new potatoes. We've got some onion we've cut up. We've got some corn and some celery. And earlier today we made some BLTs, so I've got some bacon fat. We're going to cook this in the pressure cooker. And right now we've got it set up to about medium high. We're going to add some of this fat in here and do a quick saute on some onions. And we want to just get a little bit of flavor in there for them. If you can see, the pan's already kind of hot. The oil clarified really quick. Now I'm going to ask John to go ahead and add all of those onions in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to just remove that spoon and go ahead and pick up that whole cutting board and dump them in. Now be careful, remember that's hot oil, so move your hand, keep your hand safe, and dump the onions in. Okay, you kind of want to use the fold of it, and then that way you can scoop them down. That's about a half a chopped onion, guys. And as you can hear, it was already ready to go. We've already got some steaming going. We just want to get a little bit of color on there. And I'm going to let my sous chef do some of the work tonight. So we've got onions in there. We'll let them sweat for a minute. Hopefully let them caramelize. How does that smell, Chef?
It smells really awesome.
It smells really good, right? A little bacon fat, a little bit of onions, and some heat is what we've got going on right now. Pretty incredible. We'll be using some of my buddy Mike's Almighty Spices seafood spice in there. So we're looking at the pan and we're starting to get some good bubbling. We're just going to go ahead and stir it up once. Stir it up real quick like. Now you can add that celery in here now. So we've got about 3 ribs of celery. We're just going to add them into the pot there. Okay, that's cool. Give it a stir. Give it a stir, John. And you just want it to look like it's all mixed in there together, so that you've got, you know, an equal amount of onion and an equal amount of celery in there. Alright, looks good. Give it a quick shake. Even it out on the bottom of the pan. Get some convection heat going. Alright guys, we're going to let those brown up for a minute. Put it on pause and we'll be right back. And just press the pause button. Okay, in just a second. Oh, it's recording now. Press pause.
Okay.
Alright guys, let me show you how we're going to devein some shrimp real quick. Come on down here, Juliana. We want to pull out that middle. So we just take a knife, run it along the spine right there, and then you can dig in and peel out the vein, so it's nice and clean. Also doing it under some running water helps, but you see that dark spot? That's how far down you want to cut, so that you can get in there and get it cleaned out. That's just unappetizing. That's the intestine of the shrimp, and so we just clean that out. We're going to do that right now while the other part, we're gonna clean up these shrimp while John is browning those onions. You want to go check on the onions real quick? So what do you got going on in there? You got any browning yet?
There's like a little bit.
A little bit? Okay, mostly still
much.
steaming, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll let it go just a couple more minutes. I'm going to devein the shrimp, and then we'll be right back. We'll add in the corn and potatoes liquid and get it going. Alright guys, so we're just getting at the golden brown stage. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in some of this chicken broth just to deglaze the pan a little bit. Alright, now we want to add in the vegetables in a certain order though. We're going to add in some corn. We've already got them cut into little niblets. Then on top of the corn, we're going to add some potatoes, another layer of potatoes. And then since we're using a nice, we're going to use the pressure cooker, and it's going to be a nice wet method of cooking. We'll go ahead and season up the potatoes. Here, can you move the spoon? Alright. We'll season up the potatoes because what's going to happen is we're going to create a big old steam bath in here. And all of the liquid is going to go in a cycle from the bottom. It's going to steam up to the top, condense, and then come back down. And so that's going to be our cooking method. And yeah, just like the water cycle. Okay, so we don't need to stir that. What our next deal is to put on the lid. Now on here, on the top, there's a little arrow. You line that little arrow up with this little arrow here on the pressure cooker. Make sure that the notches go in and twist it. Now there's a little button inside of this one, and what I do is I just make sure that that's lined up. We've got our heat set to medium high. We want to bring it up. There's a little pressure button right here. That's going to pop up, and in just a few minutes we'll get some rocking on this. Pressure cookers are great because they use the pressure built up by that little gasket to cook food really fast. It's kind of like a microwave for the top of the stove. So what I'm going to do is pause it, go finish cleaning up those shrimp, and then we'll come back and show you the pressure cooker in action.
It's recording.
Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do is just clean up this shrimp. We want to get into that cavity where the dark spot is, and then you'll be able to see and remove the vein, and at the same time we're going to pull off the shell. So we'll just get them both. We rinse that off, and now we've got some nice clean shrimp that we'll add into the pot over there for just the last minute of cooking. So we're going to cook all the vegetables, and then we'll bring it over to the sink, cool it, and then bring it back up to pressure for the last minute or two just to cook the shrimp through, because they're gonna cook really fast in there. So you see, we just cut down to this little dark spot. Okay, and that's the intestine of the shrimp, and it's the vein that we want to remove so that we're cleaning out the shrimp. Ooh, that's a great example of it. We just pull it out, rinse it off with a little water. Kind of peel the shell around and pull it out from the bottom, and you get a nice clean piece of shrimp. they sell different tools that you can use to remove it. There's a pair of scissors that I really like that are good, but I don't cook enough shrimp at home to own them. And for me, this is easy enough with a little paring knife. You just want to make sure it's sharp enough to cut through the shell, which is pretty easy. Ooh, that's a good one. See that? Get that out of there. It'll just give it a little dirtier flavor. All right, let's go check on the pot over here. See if we've got any steam going.
Oh yeah, there's some steam.
I see a little bit of steam coming out of here. Can you see it on the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can hear a little bit of boiling going on in there.
Do I pause it? Okay.
So it says the cook time for the potatoes. It says the cook time for the potatoes in a pressure cooker, under pressure, potatoes of that size, which are about 1.5 inches in diameter, 8 to 10 minutes. So right now we've got some boiling. We'll let it come up to pressure. We know it's up to pressure as soon as the rocker arm starts going. You hear that. At that point, that's when you start your timer. We're going to let it go for 8 minutes. And then we'll take it over to the sink, release the pressure with a little cold water, and